cinematography, I don't know. I didn't memorize any of that. Okay. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a 2013 theatrical release about Tony trying to work through some PTSD while fighting a new threat, the Mandarin. It is directed by Shane Black, cinematography by John Toll, editing by Peter S. Elliot and Jeffrey Ford, music by Brian Tyler, and it's written by Drew Pearce and Shane Black. Film stars Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Don Cheadle as James Rhodes, Guy Pearce as Eldridge Killian, Rebecca Hall as Maya, and Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. Paramount and Disney were at head-to-head about how they wanted to distribute it, who was going to distribute it, and so Disney gave Paramount $115 million for worldwide distribution rights. Insane. They also knew that Jon Favreau wasn't going to come back to direct, but he would executive produce and obviously be happy. So Robert Downey Jr. reached out to Shane Black, who had done Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with him, to write and direct. Drew Pearce was also brought on to help write. Drew and Shane kind of decided that the film was not going to deal with magic or space and be much more a techno thriller, taking place at Christmas to, like, you know, exemplify the heightened juxtaposition of what's going on in the happy holiday season. The plot is influenced by the Extremis or plotline in the comic books. Maya Hansen was originally going to be the big bad, and it was going to be a huge reveal. Then they added in the Mandarin, and they added in Killian, and they both kind of agreed that the Mandarin should be fake and should be an actor, and they kept wanting Maya Hansen to be a huge reveal, and then Marvel squashed that because they thought they couldn't sell merch to little boys of a woman villain, which is absolute garbage. Holy heck, I can't believe that. We hate it. They originally thought about having Brant show up at the end to help, but switched it to Pepper being the one to cause his downfall, which is really great. Killian's downfall. The final dialogue was originally, like, when he says, "I am Iron Man," in the, like, at the end. He was supposed to say, "I am Tony Stark," to kind of show, like, he's grown and, you know, it's him behind everything. But Marvel, again, wanted them to change it to "I am Iron Man" to enhance his mythical qualities. They filmed in North Carolina, and everyone was solidified in the cast in September 2011. Filming started in May 2011. John Toll, the cinematographer, used digital cameras for the first time in his career on this film. He used Arri Alexa, which is a very common camera. The scene where Iron Man rescues all the falling people out of Air Force One was done practically with skydivers, which is bananas. Downey suffered an ankle injury on set in August, healed up. They filmed in Florida on a beach. They filmed in Beijing. They filmed in India. There are 2,000 visual effects shots in this movie with 17 studios. Townsend, the VFX supervisor, said between January and April of 2013, the crew had 1 day of downtime. Otherwise, they did 7 days a week, 14 to 18 hours a day. Gross! We need to change the standard in the film industry. That's disgusting. No one should live like that. And then the rough cut was 3 hours and 15 minutes before it got trimmed down to its 130 minutes, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes. So they lost like an hour and 5 minutes in the cut. The film had a $200 million budget and made $1.216 billion in the box office. It's got a 79% Rotten Tomatoes consensus rating. With the help of its charismatic lead, some impressive action sequences, and even a few surprises, Iron Man 3 is a witty, entertaining adventure and a strong addition to the Marvel canon. It was nominated for Best Visual Effects. Iron Man 4 had been floated, but technically Downey's contract ended after this film, but obviously he did sign on to do the rest of the Avengers and see it through to the end. But there were, who was it that said this? Stephen McFeely said if Marvel was any other studio, they would have made Iron Man 4 instead of killing Tony Stark in Endgame, which I think he's trying to be like, look, we made the choice to kill our biggest guy or whatever, which is super interesting. We'll see what's going on, because now Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom, so we'll see what that plan is. Gorgeous. Did you expect anything else? I think from here on out they're probably going to be really good. This is long, but I feel like it does fly, especially once Tony's in Tennessee. Once Tony's in Tennessee and he meets that kid, it's like bam, bam, bam. I feel like it really moves. They also, Shane Black style, there was some wipes and stuff, some fun transitions instead of just like normal cuts or fades. The score has that classic Iron Man sound. Brian Tyler is here to do that. He was not the one that did Iron Man 1, but he has done a fair few. Loved the Eiffel 65 opening number, though. We love a blue dabba dee da die, or for those of you who think If I Was Green I'd Die, moment. Hilarious. I forgot this was a Christmas movie. I feel like that it's really subtle. Like, right at the beginning, he dances to a Christmas song, and there's some Christmas decorations, and there's snow in different places. But otherwise, it doesn't super come across like a Christmas movie, but it definitely is a Christmas movie. Jarvis is so interesting. I think it's just so fascinating. I'm not excited for Avengers 2. I'm gonna be stressed. The voiceover for Tony at the beginning and the end, I freaking hate when people do this. I don't know why I hate it so much. I think to choose a voiceover is something you need to see throughout the film. This is my absolute personal opinion, because I do think it's effective here. But, like, you set up voiceover in the beginning. It's like, oh, is Tony going to be, like, telling this story? And then you don't hear him again in a voiceover format until the end of the film. Which is fine. I get you're, like, introing it and outroing it. But I don't know. I've always been like, if you're going to do voiceover, commit to the friggin' voiceover and see it through to the end. Because it could be a very good storytelling dynamic. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Tony's Anxiety. I remember seeing this movie in the theaters, and I remember Tony's Anxiety being really hard for me. I think it's a huge factor as to why I have a hard time when Tony is fighting with any Avenger, because I'm just constantly like, no one is talking about Tony's PTSD. No one is talking about, like, he obviously is panicked and needs help, and it just, like, really stresses me out because I understand the anxiety attacks. I understand all of that. I've had anxiety attacks. I've had PTSD. So it's just like, I feel bad for him because I feel like no one is understanding except maybe Pepper what's happening to him. And I wish somebody would acknowledge it outside of him. And I get it's not an excuse for some of the choices he makes, 100%. But I wish people would be like, hey, you don't have to do that. Anyway, saving Pepper with the suit is so good. Like the way he, like, makes it save her instead of him. Excellent. And then her, obviously, flip side, saving him. Excellent. I remember also loving Tony and Harley the kid so much. Also very Shane Black choice to have a kid who's, like, really witty and funny. But this, like, I feel like in that moment it was some of the best medicine for Tony to just have this kid who, like, doesn't give a crap about him. You know. And also, I think Robert Downey Jr. and a kid always is a good combination because he's so funny with kids. I truly think the way that Tony and Harley were with each other is 100% the way Robert Downey Jr. would be with a kid. Like, he doesn't treat them like they're stupid. He's not going to cater to them just because they're a kid. He's going to treat them like a person. I don't know. It's just really funny. I think some of the funniest stuff in this movie comes from between him and that kid with just, like, the, you know why? Because we're connected. Like, so good. It's just so funny. The discount Iron Man scene is so great when he's, like, just built something and then he's, like, got these gloves, the electric stuff on it, the ornaments. Like, it's just such a good little scene. And just shows that Tony, you know, is a mechanic or is, like, makes stuff, is really intelligent. He made the first Iron Man suit. Why can't he make something else? Pepper being the one to end Killian is fabulous, but knowing what we could have had makes me big sad. I know I mentioned that the villain was supposed to be big, but apparently a bunch of the other, like, women roles in this film were supposed to be a lot bigger, and it got squashed by Marvel, which is just really grinds my gears. And then the post-credit scene is Tony telling the story to Bruce, and Bruce being asleep for it because he's not that kind of doctor. Robert Downey Jr. just has that something, doesn't he? The way he can be so quick-witted and effortless with it just bleeds intelligence. I feel like he's just so good. Like, I feel like it's kind of annoying, but, like, in the best way. Like, thank you, RDJ. And proud of you. And amazing. And you're great. Ben Kingsley was certainly out here, wasn't he? That's certainly something. The sound design peak. So good. I feel like sound design just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. And it's not something people are realizing is getting better and better and better and better and better. It's just so good. My favorite part is Tony and Harley. My least favorite part is probably Killian. He gives me the ick. Recommend? Sure. Watch again. I'm sure at some point I will. You know, whatever. Specific moments. Tony's dancing. Robert Downey Jr. What are we doing? The tuna sandwich. Anything with the kid. Anything between Tony and Harley. I love dear to my heart. So good. 'Cause We're Connected. Tuna sandwich. You know, all that good stuff. I genuinely love his humor. This is great. I don't fully remember 2 in this moment. It's been a long time since I've seen 2. So I don't fully remember what happens in 2. I should read a summary or something. So I can't compare, but I do think my order of Iron Man movies goes Iron Man 1, 3, 2, because 2 is fine. But still, this is good. This was better than I thought it was. I didn't remember, like, hating this by any means, but I remember it being, like, not that great, but this was better than I remembered, so go figure. That's everything I have for Iron Man 3. My final rating is going to be 8. Should I do potato guns? What should I do? 8. No, I feel like potato guns is good. 8 potato guns out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parent total and credit count are still the same. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials to find out the movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon at a tier starting at just $1, where you get every video a week early and a coupon code for merch and exclusive merch access. Tiers above that, you get daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, all that good stuff. Go check it out. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. Don't be mad about it. It's a tried and true classic. Speaking of, that's everything I have. So until next time, come like and subscribe. I'm not in charge of your life. You are. So you do you, and don't be Killian about it. I'm tired. Oh.